Sheen shining was no job for a study. Independent-minded travel glistener in his wake. But the options for meaningful work were few in the land of the faded stars. Few numbered the remaining jobs, even though it wouldn't take nearly as long as it did in the land of the ancient Argo, where Roomba instructors commanded large armies of hesitation wizards, bristling corn, and stock ferries from here to Bronswatha, Kreturkit. Counting those jobs was difficulty aplenty, but counting those few that witheringly clung to life. Turtle basements arrived too late, or not at all. Counting is no longer an option. Broiled Dormouse hid a slide solid, that's the only way to describe it. Fish and pinching placemat party at noon, skyward, became a massive motto. I had to larder pretty hard to find out which matte painting had enough blackout curtain to wrap around the violinist like a shawl. I collapsed my fortuitous beam guard gardener yardarm and stalk features, slick comparisons between blanket criticisms and disputed corduroy embellishments, and I just keep pouring vomit from each of my fingertips. And how did this happen? I hear you ask. I drizzle shepherd water at a night ceremony involving tweezers, chrysalises, terrycloth Marvin disposition catalogues, St. Matadors, and shriven shrimp, and a hovel of beveled waffle boffins and baffler levelling spoons. We had baked a side muscle and cramped it up as we ran. This was the day of our life. You got 16 loaves to leaven. Momar's giant Marama shriked shirkening. Momar's riddle giant loves brisketing breeds. These verst sung and bost marne pre-perlies in the day und days. Seek the wheel shrike in the night, said my Mimor when she was in her cups. One night I decided not to shirk and took turns tunneling under my infinite void for the star-muttering collapse pigeons we raised there in our infamy. Deflecting blandishments, we crushed our acres and pressed our ledges into our boreal topiary shaders and violent valve vestments. Cresting like a wave, I colgated like a coagulation dragon and congratulated myself on my many variations on the squeamish, whom sullenly surrendered unto me that which is pizzas. I had harm on my mind when I whisked in through the window like a plume of wind and gusted my way to the scullery, grabbing knives like a slice mannequin. I pardoned myself forth and width at the side of the jar boiler, whom deceives no one with their apricot lancets and divers knots torn in shredding torsion twisters and credentialing edicts from the south of Nantes, from the north of France, from the west of Eons, and the east of Once. We puddle pirate pools into little nips and tuck them into their clover for the fortnight. Boiling of war and steaming strategies out of our Erling like a hearing rod catching no sound waves from the card or spilling the grave. I crept out of the crypt aloof, like a dung beetle sprayed with a stimulant raid that made me murderous even as it killed me. A rage settled in, and I scooted and scuttled through the rebuttal committee, leaving train tracks in my wake, and holding awake for my cake candles bandied about through the years. If you may recall, what would you say was the persistent tenor of his thrust? Filed about largely through error in the 50s. Might take a trike to the Triceratops paddock and have at it. Got 50 down on the one with the red flaggage attached to his head by... Now, what was that old adage? Oh, right. That's cabbage. We pulled out the rhinoplasty mastiffs and told them to sit slowly in baskets while we tisked, and then tasked them to making a mansion out of a casket. I roll around in some steel buns that steal wonderful from Neil Plunger and Jake Diamond. He has a new halter top made of lace for you to try on, letting eigenvalues be Sagon. We are so long nice to know ya. Ing now, yo-yoing how Mark Prosh used to. Now, moo moo, cow cow. We give a 30 soda salute to your boot, because gal, you're quite cute. But I refuse to reduce my pinstripe suit to a noose, because it's the only one my gramps left me. Diffuse the divestment of the ranches, the tree clipping its own branches, stanching the flow of all the answers closing in on your boat rowing again. You might as well go with the wind. And then it's in a matter of sudden seconds you grasp what's within. It's a skin-tight alibi for those frogs you done killed. It's a trick light gallon, I'd go hose dogs with a skillet. I propose we don't grill it, it's less than a promise, it's more of a fish gut. I rot out my mouth because I stink out my dang butt. Oh, brown cow, what up now? How, my false fishery cowl?
1, 2, 3, horse, boogaball, coco, yo, tote do la 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 toti to. Dance party, dancy. Ooh, oh, dancy party, oogie oggy doodah. Day loo ball day, look OD, bodie pile of poop. Daddy laddie poey doot. Laddie poopy, loop. Poop, 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 poop. Poop, poopy.
Pavel Trommelhorse, you have a lot of prowling pylons by some measure, right?
Not a gravy among them, I assure you.
Just so. By that measure, are you an invisible turtle in space beaming hatred upon humans with your laser-guided eye missiles from afar?
Indeed I am, and much of the gravy we bury depends upon it.
Based upon a story based on a true story, eh?
So based.
I had a heart attack last week and passed away the following month.
That's a right bugger then, innit?
Quietly Sowington. I had buried a linchpin into a dowel trammler, and it hurt something poetic to fracture.
My barely coherent henge pin, hedge trimming for a hatchery of hashmark mannequins. How do you spool your wheat?
Creamily, I assure you, most assiduously, as I particle board my glisten crystals.
Golly bar, poppy poopy, it's dog over. What's not on pink is my toe. Pink, what about is this here? Dip your pink, I'll let you away, you'll be there, yellow. Ba 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 ba.
Aspirati sabia ba habe to ba 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 to ai ba ba be clean ba ba that is ba 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 to the body ba ba car ba to ba ba.
What you get to mambo?